before time itself was measured, before kingdoms rose and fell, there walked a man who stood in the shadow of the divine, his heart attuned to the eternal whisper of God. His name was Enoch, a mortal born with the rare gift of seeing beyond the veil, a witness to the mysteries of the heavens themselves. He was called beyond the earth, lifted into realms where human feet may never tread. There, among the stars and celestial chambers, he uncovered truths forbidden to mortal eyes, secrets of angels fallen from grace, of ancient pacts forged in defiance of the Creator, and of a corruption that would awaken the wrath of the Almighty. This is not just the story of one man's journey. It is the saga of a cosmic rebellion, the fall of beings once immortal, and a judgment that would reshape not only the heavens but the very fate of humanity. Write, Enoch, for the future is yet to unfold, and the secrets you've seen must not remain locked in the heavens. The time will come when your words will serve as a warning and a guide for those who walk after you, for they must know, what was once hidden is now a burden upon us all. Enoch, secrets of heaven and earth. Enoch, son of Jared, you who have found favor in my eyes, hear my call. Lord, what do you ask of me? I am but a man, small before your greatness. I have chosen you as my messenger. What is hidden shall be revealed through you. Rise, Enoch, and follow my celestial messenger. I am Sariel, the guardian of God's mysteries. Walk with me, Enoch, for I shall reveal to you the secrets of the heavens and the corruption of the earth. This is beyond anything I ever imagined. Where are we? You stand at the threshold of the heavens, but not all that you witness will be beautiful, Enoch. You must know the truth, even if it breaks your heart. Write, Enoch, write what you see and what you will see. But remember, this knowledge is a burden. Not all will understand it, and many will reject it. Will you accept this fate? If it is God's will, I shall accept it. Though my heart may break, I will write what must be written. Lord, grant me the strength to fulfill this calling. The secrets of the heavens have been revealed, but at what cost? This is the account of what Enoch saw in the heavens. Introduction and context of Enoch's vision. The words of the blessing of Enoch with which he blessed the righteous and the chosen who shall live in the day of tribulation when all the wicked and the ungodly shall be removed. Enoch, a righteous man, whose mouth was opened by God, beheld the vision of the Holy One and of the heavens. This is what he saw. I saw a vision for the generations to come, not for this generation, but for a distant future. Concerning the elect I spoke, and for them I wrote, the Holy and Great One shall come forth from the heavens. He shall tread upon Mount Sinai and be revealed in his camp, and shall appear in his mighty power from the heavens. He shall come with 10,000 of his saints to execute judgment upon all, to destroy the wicked and to convict all flesh of all the impious deeds which sinners and the ungodly have committed against him. All who dwell upon the earth shall awaken, but the righteous shall live and the wicked shall be destroyed. Then there shall be peace, and the righteous shall walk in paths of justice, and the Lord shall be their guide, and they shall have eternal light. Chapter 2 Observations on Creation and Nature. Look upon all that happens in the heavens, how the luminaries in the sky do not stray from their paths, how each one rises and sets in order according to its seasons and does not deviate from what God has commanded. See the earth and pay attention to all that takes place upon it from the beginning to the end, how nothing upon it changes and all obeys God. Observe the signs in the heavens, how all the stars appear in their appointed time, and how the sun and the moon follow their perfect courses according to the command given to them by the Lord. They do not alter their orbits, and all works together in obedience to God. But you, men, have disobeyed. You have not followed the ways of the Lord, and your wickedness has exceeded all limits. The watchers, too, the angels sent to guide you, strayed from their mission and corrupted their ways. Therefore, the wicked face judgment, and the punishment will be great. Observe how each tree bears fruit in its season, how the rivers flow in their course, how the sea remains within its boundaries. All creation follows the laws of the Most High, yet men and fallen angels have not respected his commandments. Judgment will come upon all who have sinned and upon those who have followed the ways of injustice. The righteous, however, shall be rewarded and shall find eternal peace. The wicked shall be destroyed, and no memory of them shall remain. Look how the seasons change in their appointed time, the days of summer and winter. See how everything in the earth and heavens bears witness to the glory of God. Yet men have brought chaos into this world through their actions. Judgment is prepared, and the Most High shall not delay in executing it. Chapter 3: The Fall of the Watchers and the Rise of the Nephilim. In those days, when the sons of men multiplied, beautiful and comely daughters were born unto them. The angels, the sons of heaven, saw them and desired them. And they said to one another, Come, let us choose wives from among the daughters of men and beget children with them. Then Simjaza, who was their leader, said to them, I fear that you will not agree to do this deed, and I alone shall bear the blame for a great sin. But they all answered him, Let us swear an oath and bind ourselves by a solemn curse that we shall not turn back until we have accomplished this thing and brought it to pass. Then they all swore together and bound themselves by a curse. There were in total 200, and they descended in the days of Jared upon the summit of Mount Hermon. They called it Hermon because upon it they swore and bound themselves by a curse. These are the names of their leaders: Simjaza, who was their chief, Orkibbermil, Akabil, Tamil, Ramuel, Danil, Ezekiel, Barakiel, Asel, Amaros, Batriel, Ananel, Zakiel, Samsapil, Sariel, Turel, Jumjel, and Sariel. These were the chiefs of tents, and all of them took wives unto themselves, each choosing one, and they began to approach them and defile themselves with them. They taught them enchantments and sorceries, and revealed to them how to cut roots and herbs. And they became pregnant and bore giants whose height was 300 cubits. These devoured all that men could produce, and when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and began to devour mankind. They also sinned against birds, beasts, reptiles, and fish, and they devoured one another's flesh and drank blood. Then the earth cried out against the lawless ones, and Azazel taught men to forge swords, knives, shields, and breastplates. He revealed to them the metals of the earth and how to work them, as well as bracelets, ornaments, the use of antimony, the beautification of the eyelids, all kinds of precious stones, and all manner of dyes. Then much wickedness rose, and they committed fornication, and were led astray in all their ways. Simjaza taught enchantments and the cutting of roots. Amaros taught the undoing of spells. Barakiel taught astrology. Kokabel taught the constellations. Ezekiel taught cloud divination. Arakiel taught the signs of the earth. Samziel taught the signs of the sun, and Sariel taught the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried out, and their cry ascended to the heavens. Then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from heaven, and saw the great bloodshed upon the earth, and all the iniquity being committed, and they said to one another, the earth cries out with the voice of its lamentation unto the gates of heaven. Now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men cry, saying, Present our case before the Most High. And they said to the Lord of the heavens, You are the Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, and the throne of your glory remains for all the generations of the world, and your name is holy, great, and blessed for all eternity. You have made all things, and you have power over them all. Everything is open before you, and you see all things, and nothing can be hidden from you. You have seen what Azazel has done, who has taught all kinds of injustice on earth and has revealed the eternal secrets that were kept in the heavens, which men were striving to learn. And Samjaza, to whom you have given authority to rule over his associates, has gone to the daughters of men and has lain with them and has defiled himself and has revealed these sins to them. The women have given birth to giants, and the whole earth has been filled with blood and iniquity. And now, behold, the souls of those who have died cry out and lament up to the gates of heaven, and their groaning has ascended, and they cannot rest because of the iniquity that has been committed on earth. But you know all things before they happen. You know this and tolerate these things, and you do not tell us what we should do about them. Then the Most High, the Holy and Great One, spoke and sent Uriel to the son of Lamech, saying, Go to Noah and tell him in my name hide yourself, and reveal to him the end that is coming, that the whole earth will be destroyed, and a flood will come upon the whole earth and destroy everything that is on it. And now instruct the righteous one Noah on what he must do to preserve his life and the seed of the whole earth for future generations. And again the Lord said to Raphael, Bind Azazel by his hands and feet and cast him into the darkness. Make an opening in the desert that is in Dudiel and throw him there. Place rough and sharp rocks over him and cover him with darkness, and let him remain there forever and cover him so that he does not see the light. And on the day of the great judgment he will be cast into the fire. Heal the earth that the angels have corrupted, and announce to it that I have healed the earth, and that all corruption will be removed. Let all the children of men not be lost because of the mystery that the watchers have revealed and have taught their children. The whole earth has been corrupted by the teaching of Azazel's works, and upon him shall fall all the blame. And the Lord said to Gabriel, Proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of the watchers from among men. Send them against each other so that they may destroy themselves in battle, for they will not have long lives, and no petition that their fathers make will be heard, for they hope to live an eternal life, and that each of them would live for 500 years. And the Lord said to Miguel, Go and announce to Samjaza and his associates, who have joined with women to defile themselves with them in all their impurity. Their destruction is determined. Bind them for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth until the day of their judgment and consummation, until the eternal judgment is completed. In those days they will be led to the abyss of fire and to torment, and they will be confined for all eternity. And destroy all the spirits of the reprobates and the children of the watchers, for they have harmed men. Destroy all injustice from the earth, and bring an end to every evil deed. Let the plant of righteousness and truth emerge, flourishing as a blessing to all. May the works of righteousness take root forever, spreading joy throughout the land. In this time, the righteous will find refuge and be saved, their days filled with peace. Their children will multiply by the thousands, and both their youth and old age will be completed in tranquility. Then the earth itself will be transformed, cultivated in righteousness. It will be rich with trees, overflowing with blessings. The trees will bear abundant fruit, and vineyards will spread across the land. Every seed sown will return 1,000-fold, and a single measure of olives will yield 10 times its oil. The earth will be cleansed, rid of all oppression, sin, and corruption that has defiled it. Let all the children of wickedness be removed from the earth, and may all evil work cease. Now, my children, speak of righteousness, walk in its ways, for it is through the paths of righteousness that you shall endure forever. Chapter 4: Enoch as mediator, and the judgment of the watchers. I was taken from among the children of men, lifted out of the world I had always known, and the angels called me by name. They led me to a desolate place, far from the sight of mortals, and spoke, Enoch, scribe of righteousness, go to the watchers of heaven, those who abandoned the heights and defiled themselves with the daughters of men. They have taken wives for themselves, corrupted the earth, and spread their rebellion like a plague. Speak to them, for there will be no peace, no forgiveness for their sins. And so I went. In the valley called Abel Main, between Lebanon and Sinai, I found them, these once glorious beings, hiding their faces in shame. I delivered to them the words of judgment that had been given to me, and they trembled in fear. Their voices rose in desperation as they pleaded with me. Write a petition for us. Intercede for us. Carry our plea to the Most High, for we can no longer lift our eyes to heaven. I wrote their petition, recording the cries of the fallen. Then I ascended. The gates of heaven opened before me, and I stood at the waters of the celestial realm. Beyond them was the throne of God. I fell on my face and presented their plea. But the Most High spoke, his voice like fire. Go, Enoch. Tell the watchers who sent you, you were once holy, eternal, and pure. Yet you defiled yourselves with mortal flesh and fathered children of blood. You have poured wickedness upon the earth. You revealed the secrets of heaven that were never meant for men. You taught them what was forbidden, and now the world groans under the weight of what you have done. The Most High spoke again, his voice reverberating like thunder across the heavens. You have corrupted yourselves. The watchers, your fate is sealed. You will have no peace, no forgiveness. Your sins are too great to be washed away. You will be condemned forever. As for your children, the Nephilim born of your union with mortal women, they will be destroyed, for they have spread chaos, bloodshed, and destruction across the earth. They are the harbingers of your downfall. I returned to them, my heart heavy with the weight of the truth. I told the watchers everything that God had revealed to me. There would be no intercession, no mercy. The sin they had committed, abandoning their divine nature, was unforgivable. Their transgression would echo through eternity, and they would never again see the light of forgiveness. Then a vision came to me, dark, oppressive, and filled with the roar of endless flames. I saw a place like no other, a prison for the fallen angels. Chains of fire bound them, and they were held there in torment, waiting for the final judgment. The Most High spoke again, his voice like the crackling of infernos. This is their prison. Here they will remain until the great day of judgment, when they will be cast into the eternal abyss. Then my vision shifted. I saw a throne, radiant beyond measure, surrounded by rivers of fire. On that throne sat the Most High, a presence so pure and overwhelming that even the angels dared not speak. They sang his praises in unison, their voices reverberating like waves of power and light. It was in that moment, as I stood before the throne, that the weight of the judgment to come finally settled within me. And God spoke to me again, his words cutting through the silence of eternity. Enoch, the children of the Watchers, these Nephilim, will bear the consequences of their fathers' sins. They will be wiped from the earth, for their deeds have corrupted the very foundation of creation. The Most High spoke once more, his voice deep and resonant. The Nephilim will be destroyed, their physical forms erased from the earth. Yet their spirits will linger, wicked, malevolent, cursed to haunt the very soil from which they were born. These spirits, born of flesh and blood, will become evil spirits upon the earth. They will leave their bodies behind, for they are the offspring of both men and the holy Watchers. Their origins are stained with blood and corruption, and they will bring destruction to the world. They will be known as the wicked spirits, invisible to the eyes of men, yet ever present in their malice. They will harm, destroy, attack, and fight with no rest, no peace. They will not eat or drink, but their presence will cause untold suffering. They will rise against the children of men and women, for they came forth from them. Their curse will endure until the end of time. And so it was that the Nephilim were erased from the earth in body, but their spirits would remain, a scourge upon humanity, tormenting generations to come. The Most High then turned to me, his words a command etched in eternal flame. Enoch, you must record these revelations. Write down all that has been shown to you, for this is a warning for the generations to come. Let them know what happened when the Watchers abandoned their divine purpose, and when their children, the Nephilim, brought chaos, bloodshed, and corruption to the earth. Let them know the consequences of sin, for my judgment is just, and none will escape it. I, Enoch, took up the task with solemn duty. I would bear the burden of these revelations, recording the fall of the Watchers, the wickedness of the Nephilim, and the inevitability of God's judgment. Though the fallen angels begged for mercy, their fate was sealed, and their sin could not be forgiven. This is the story of their fall, and the eternal curse they left upon the earth. It is a tale of corruption, of rebellion, and of divine justice. And now the truth must be known. The Nephilim were destroyed in body, yet their spirits remained upon the earth, wandering shadows, cursed reminders of the corruption they had unleashed. Their presence stood as a dark testament to the sins of the Watchers and the justice of the Most High. And I, Enoch, the scribe of righteousness, recorded all that I had seen and heard, so that future generations might know the truth. The rebellion of the Watchers, the birth of the Nephilim, and the inevitability of God's judgment. Chapter 5: Enoch's visions of heaven, hell, and the final judgment. After I had delivered the Most High's message to the Watchers, the angels came to me once more. Enoch, scribe of righteousness, they said, come and see. These things will be shown to you so that you may understand the order of creation and the destinies awaiting both the righteous and the sinners. And so I was taken beyond the realm of mortals, led through mysteries hidden since the dawn of time. First, they brought me to a place where waters never ceased, a realm of endless flow, where rivers of fire burned alongside columns of flame that rose and fell without end. The air shone with a light so fierce it pierced my very soul. Awestruck, I asked the angels who guided me, "What is this place?" They answered, "This is the edge of the heavens and the earth. Here lie the foundations of the sky." Then they took me to another domain, where the elements themselves were entwined, wind, water, and fire mingling like living beings. I beheld the foundations of the earth and the storehouses of thunder, lightning, and storms, all arranged in perfect order under God's command. These, the angels said, are the treasures of creation, prepared for the day when the Lord will execute judgment upon men and angels alike. And in another place, they showed me the watchers who had been chained for their defiance. They were terrifying to behold, their once radiant forms now twisted by despair, bound in darkness. The angels who accompanied me whispered, "These are the watchers who had descended to earth and defiled themselves with mortal women were now bound, their fate sealed until the great day of judgment. Their children, the giants, had been physically destroyed, yet their evil spirits remained, roaming the earth, sowing chaos and wickedness wherever they went. These spirits, cursed by their fathers' sins, would never know peace. Then I was taken to a place where the spirits of the dead resided, a realm of darkness, separated by 4 chambers. One chamber, I was told, housed the righteous, their spirits at rest in peace. But the other 3, filled with the tormented spirits of the sinners, reeked of suffering. I asked the angels who guided me, "What is this place?" They answered, "This is Sheol, where the spirits of men await the day of judgment. The righteous rest in peace, but the sinners suffer, knowing their judgment is near. On that day, they will be cast into the eternal fire." My journey did not end there. I was led further into the abyss, to a terrifying place where the air burned with a ceaseless fire, filled with pillars of flame that moved without end. The heat was unbearable, and the very ground seemed to writhe. "What is this place?" I asked, my voice trembling. "This," the angels replied, "is the place reserved for the rebellious spirits and sinners who have rejected God. Here they will remain, chained in torment, for all eternity." And then I was taken to a mountain, a sacred peak higher than any I had ever seen, rising above the heavens themselves. Upon this mountain stood the throne of God, radiant beyond description, surrounded by rivers of fire. Thousands of angels filled the air, their voices rising in a chorus of praise, worshiping the Most High. It was here that I saw the true power of the divine, the magnitude of the judgment to come. At the peak of the sacred mountain, where the throne of the Most High rested in eternal glory, I beheld a vision beyond compare. The throne was radiant, a beacon of divine authority, where God Himself judges all of creation. In the presence of such power, I trembled, for the weight of judgment hung heavy in the air. And then I saw it, a massive tree, its fruit more beautiful than anything I had ever imagined. "What is this wondrous tree?" I asked in awe. The angels, their voices reverent, replied, "This is the tree of life. On the day of restoration it will be given to the righteous, and they will eat its fruit and live forever." But the vision did not end there. I was shown a valley, filled with rocks and fire, the air thick with the scent of judgment. "This is the place where the kings and mighty ones who have oppressed the righteous will be judged," the angels said. "Here they will face destruction, for their tyranny has defiled the earth." Then the angels took me to the farthest reaches of the earth, to witness the treasures of creation. I saw mountains of gold, rivers of silver, and gardens brimming with life. All of this was created for mankind to enjoy, the angels explained, but many have used it for evil. On the day of judgment, it will be restored to the righteous. Next, I ascended to the heavens to observe the stars, the sun, and the moon. I marveled at their perfect course, each celestial body moving in harmony with the divine laws of God. Just as the stars obey the will of God, the angels said, so too must mankind. But the wicked have turned away, and for their disobedience, they will face judgment. Finally, I was taken back to the sacred mountain, where the Most High spoke directly to me. His voice, a command of unwavering authority, echoed in my soul, Enoch, write down everything you have seen and heard, for these words are for future generations. The righteous will inherit the earth, living in peace and joy, while the wicked will be destroyed forever. Second part, the Book of Parables. Chapter 1, Introduction to the Parables. This is the beginning of the second book of Enoch, a sacred text that unveils the hidden mysteries of the heavens and the earth, the destinies of the righteous and the sinners. In these pages, the wonders of the celestial realm and the ultimate fate of mankind are revealed to Enoch through three profound parables. These parables were granted to him by the angels, who guided him through realms unknown to the sons of men. In the first vision of this sacred book, I, Enoch, blessed by the Lord of glory, the eternal King, was shown the profound mysteries of the universe. I was taken to the farthest reaches of creation, where the secrets of heaven and earth were laid bare before my eyes. I saw the final destinies of both men and angels, their fates sealed by the immutable will of the Most High. In this vision, I beheld the dwelling place prepared for the righteous, a realm of eternal peace and light. And just as clearly, I saw the horrific fate awaiting the sinners, who would be cast into the eternal fire, forever separated from the glory of the heavens. All this was revealed to me so that I might write it down, to serve as a warning to those who walk in wickedness and a promise to those who walk in righteousness. The purpose of these parables is clear: to teach mankind about righteousness, the coming judgment, and the promise of eternal life for the righteous. The Lord of Spirits showed me everything, both visible and invisible, the heavens and the stars, the lightning and thunder, and even the hidden mysteries lying deep within the earth. Each secret was unveiled to me, not for my own understanding alone, but for the generations that would come after me. These revelations are for them, so that they may know the truth and prepare for the days to come. This was made known to me by His will, so that I might be a faithful witness to the truth. With these words, Enoch introduced the profound mysteries that would unfold in the chapters to come, mysteries given to him by the Lord of Spirits to reveal to future generations. Through these divine parables, the fate of all creation would be unveiled. The first parable speaks of the destiny of the righteous and the sinners. It tells of the day when the righteous will be vindicated, their deeds shining like the sun, while the wicked will face the consequences of their actions. The second parable focuses on the mysteries of the Son of Man, the divine judge who will stand over all creation, bringing justice and revealing the secrets of the heavens. The third parable describes the future kingdom of God, where justice will be restored, the wicked will be destroyed, and the earth will be made whole. These parables were granted to me so that all men may understand the justice of the Lord of Spirits, the eternal nature of His judgment, and that, in His time, all secrets will be revealed, and all things will be set right. Chapter 2, First Parable, the Destiny of the Righteous and the Sinners. I, Enoch, have seen great visions revealed by the Lord of Spirits. These are the revelations concerning the destinies of the righteous and the sinners, shown to me so that future generations may know what is to come. I saw the righteous rise like the light of the sun. Their righteousness shone brightly, and their faces radiated with the glory of God. No fear would touch them any more, for the Lord himself would walk among them, guiding their steps in his eternal light. They would fear no more, for the Lord would be with them and they would walk in his light forever. But I also saw the fate of the sinners. They were cast out from the earth, expelled into a realm of eternal darkness, where their shame would never cease, and there would be no rest for them, no peace, no refuge. Their torment would be endless, their cries a testament to the wrath they had earned. In that dark place, they would be witnesses to their own destruction, condemned to a fate as permanent as the fire itself. As I beheld this, I also witnessed the world being transformed. The earth would yield its fruits in abundance, and the once barren mountains and hills would rejoice, singing in joy at the restoration of all things. The righteous would walk with the Son of Man, their faces radiant with his light, for his presence would be with them, guiding them into eternity. This would be the day when the righteous would be vindicated and the sinners would face their eternal destruction. The Lord of Spirits took me to a wondrous place, a realm of eternal peace where the holy ones dwell. It was a paradise unlike any earthly garden, filled with trees bearing fragrant, and his robe was whiter than snow. Thousands upon thousands of angels surrounded him, serving him in awe, their voices lifting praises to his name. I asked the angels accompanying me, "Who is this who sits on the throne of glory?" And they answered, "This is the Son of Man, the one revealed before the creation of the world. He will judge kings, the mighty, the righteous, and the wicked. He is the one who will bring justice to the righteous and light to their lives, while he will destroy the wicked forever. A throne of judgment, the fate of nations and souls." In a vision that shook the very foundations of existence, I saw the Lord of Spirits summon all the nations of the earth, from the mightiest kings to the humblest of men. They stood before the Son of Man, who opened the heavenly books, where every deed of humanity was written. Each soul was judged according to its actions, and I beheld the fate of both the righteous and the wicked unfold before my eyes. I witnessed the trembling of kings and the powerful, their hearts gripped by fear, for they knew that no wealth, no title, no earthly power could shield them from the judgment of the Son of Man. Desperate, they tried to hide, but there was no refuge, no escape from the all-seeing gaze of divine justice. In stark contrast, the righteous were called forth, their faces radiant with joy as they stood before the throne. Their hearts, pure and steadfast, were rewarded, and the Son of Man welcomed them with open arms. "Come, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the beginning of time." Their eternal reward was a reflection of their unwavering faithfulness. But for the sinners, there was no such comfort. I saw them cast into a place of eternal darkness, where the flames never ceased, and their torment had no end. The angel spoke to me, saying, "This is the fate of those who disobeyed the Most High, who oppressed the righteous and walked the paths of wickedness. Even the fallen angels and rebellious stars, who had defied the Creator, were cast into this abyss, their cries for mercy unanswered, for they had corrupted his perfect work." Then I was taken to a wondrous place, a paradise prepared for the righteous. It was a realm of beauty beyond imagining. Trees full of fruit, rivers of living water, and a light that never faded. Here, the faithful would dwell in eternal peace, basking in the glory of the Most High. This was the fate awaiting all, the eternal justice of the Lord of Spirits, where the righteous are rewarded and the wicked are cast into the abyss. No one will escape the coming judgment, and all will be made known. In the heart of a vision unlike any other, I beheld the majesty of the Lord of Spirits, who called forth all nations, from the highest kings to the humblest of men, to stand before the Son of Man. With a voice that thundered through the heavens, he opened the eternal books, each page inscribed with the deeds of humanity. And in that sacred moment, every soul was laid bare, judged by the weight of their actions. Before the Son of Man, the kings and the powerful trembled, knowing full well that neither their wealth nor their dominion could shield them from his gaze. They tried to flee, but there was no place to hide, no refuge from the all-seeing eye of divine judgment. Yet, in the midst of this great reckoning, the righteous stood firm. Their faces, radiant with joy, were called before the throne, their faithfulness recognized and rewarded. Come, said the Son of Man, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Beautiful fruits and surrounded by light that never dimmed. Here, the chosen ones of the Most High lived, free from sorrow, untouched by pain. Their joy was everlasting, their hearts at rest in the presence of God. But as I witnessed this bliss, I was also shown the opposite, a place of torment for the wicked, where comfort was a forgotten dream, and their shame echoed endlessly. In that place they would know the depths of their own failure. I also beheld the four great archangels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Phanuel, who stand before the throne of the Most High. Each of them plays a part in the divine plan. Michael, protector and warrior. Raphael, healer and guide. Gabriel, announcer of judgments, and Phanuel, guardian of the righteous hope. I saw them singing praises to the Lord, their voices like the roar of many waters, declaring, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of Spirits. All creation is filled with his glory. Then I was shown the secrets of heaven and earth, how the sun, the moon, and the stars follow their appointed courses, obeying the will of the Most High. I saw the storehouses of the wind, the rain, and the storms, each perfectly ordered according to God's command. And I saw the heavenly books, in which all the deeds of men are recorded. The righteous are written for eternal life, while the sinners are recorded for judgment. I knew, then, that on the day of judgment, these books would be opened, and each person would be judged according to their works. Nothing hidden, all laid bare before the eyes of the Most High. Here's an engaging introduction that blends the mysteries of wisdom, the cosmic rebellion, and the coming judgment under the reign of the Son of Man. I saw how wisdom descended from heaven, seeking a place among men, offering itself as a gift, a blessing of divine insight. Yet, in their wickedness, men rejected it. Wisdom lamented, its voice heavy with sorrow, I will not find a place among men. I will return to the throne of the Most High and rest there forever. My heart ached to witness this rejection, for in spurning wisdom, humanity also turned away from the blessings of God Himself. As I stood in silence, I turned my gaze to the heavens and saw the stars, each one shining with a purpose, its name known only to the Lord of Spirits. But some stars had disobeyed. abandoning their divine course, choosing rebellion instead. They were cast into the abyss, bound with the fallen angels, awaiting the day of judgment. There, they would remain, consumed by the eternal darkness of their defiance. I saw the spirits of men. The spirits of the righteous ascended to heaven, received with joy, their faces aglow with the glory of the Most High. But the spirits of the sinners were rejected, cast into the dark places, awaiting their doom. Let the righteous rejoice, for the Most High is their refuge, their eternal strength. But let the wicked tremble, for the day of judgment is near, and no one will escape the justice of the Lord of Spirits. Chapter 3, the second parable, the Son of Man and the Universal Judgment. I, Enoch, have received this parable from the Lord of Spirits, and within it lies the deepest mystery of all, the coming judgment of the universe, brought forth by the Son of Man, the one who will be the final judge of all creation. This is what I saw and heard. A glorious throne, high and majestic, surrounded by fire and light, stood before me. Upon it sat one whose face shone like the brilliance of the sun. But for those who had chosen darkness, the fate was far more dire. The sinners, those who had oppressed the just and turned their hearts from the Most High, were cast into eternal night, a place where flames never ceased and torment never ended. Even the fallen angels and rebellious stars, who had once known the light, were not spared. Their cries for mercy echoed in vain. There was no refuge for those who had defied the Creator. Then, in the midst of this judgment, I was taken to a realm of wonder, a paradise prepared for the righteous. I beheld trees laden with fruit, rivers of living water flowing endlessly, and a light that never waned. The angel spoke. This is the place prepared for those who have kept faith. Here, in the eternal embrace of the Creator, they shall dwell forever. I witnessed a vision that shook the very core of my soul. Before the throne of the Son of Man, the kings and the mighty who had oppressed the righteous were brought low, their hearts weighed down by the darkness they had chosen. The heavenly books were opened, and every deed, every secret was laid bare. There was no place for them to hide. They knelt, not in reverence, but in fear, their voices trembling as they cried out for mercy. But the Son of Man spoke, his words heavy with righteous wrath. You knew the truth, yet you chose evil. Now you shall receive the judgment you have prepared for yourselves. Without pity, they were cast into the eternal abyss, a place where the flames burn endlessly and rest is but a forgotten dream. Then my vision shifted. The Lord of Spirits, with a divine word, renewed the earth. The mountains and valleys, once scarred by sin, were cloaked in vibrant greenery. Pure waters flowed through rivers once tainted, and trees bore fruit in abundance. Everything broken was restored to its original glory. And there, upon this restored earth, the righteous took their inheritance. No longer would they know fear or pain, for their lives were filled with peace, their faces radiant as the sun. The presence of the Son of Man walked among them, filling the world with joy, and the glory of the Lord shone upon them. The angels who stood beside me spoke softly, This is the inheritance of the righteous, the kingdom prepared for them by the Most High. Here death and suffering are no more. But then, another vision. The fallen watchers, bound in chains, were dragged before the Son of Man filled with terror. They knew their fate was sealed. They had corrupted creation itself and defied the Most High. There was no hope for them now, only the reckoning that awaited all who choose darkness over light. I beheld a vision of divine judgment, where the Son of Man, in his infinite righteousness, stood before those who had once held power over creation but had chosen evil over justice. He spoke to them with unwavering authority. You were created to uphold justice, yet you turned from the truth. Now you will be cast from creation itself, and you shall never see the light again. In that moment, the fallen angels, those who had corrupted the heavens, were cast into the eternal abyss, bound in darkness for all time. Their offspring, the spirits of the Nephilim, too were judged and sent to eternal torment, their rebellion against the Most High sealed forever. But then the vision shifted. I saw how the kingdom of God was established, unshakable and eternal. The righteous dwelled in perfect communion with the Most High, and the Son of Man, in his wisdom and justice, reigned supreme. His glory filled the universe, and the angels' voices rang out in praise. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of spirits. All creation is filled with his glory, and his kingdom shall have no end. Before the Son of Man, every knee bowed and every tongue confessed his name. The secrets of heaven and earth were laid bare, and there was no more darkness or evil, only perfect harmony under the rule of the Most High. And then the Lord of Spirits spoke to me, saying, Enoch, these things have been revealed so that future generations may know them. Let the righteous live in hope, for their salvation is near. Let the sinners repent, for the day of judgment is at hand, and none will escape my justice. The promise of renewal echoed through the vision. I will purify my creation. The righteous will shine like the stars, and their joy will know no end. But the wicked will be no more, and their memory will vanish forever. Thus, the vision of justice and divine triumph over evil came to an end, leaving me with a message that would echo through generations to come. The kingdom of the Lord is eternal, and his justice is unyielding. Let the righteous rejoice and trust in his sovereign reign, but let the sinners turn from their ways, for the judgment of the Son of Man will be just, and none shall escape his gaze. In the midst of my vision, the angel Uriel, guardian of the celestial luminaries, took me by the hand and led me into the vast expanse of the heavens. His voice, like the whisper of a distant star, spoke of the eternal movements of the sun. Behold, he said, this great luminary that rules over the day and gives light to the world. It rises from the eastern portal each morning and sets in the western portal each evening, fulfilling its course with unwavering precision according to the will of the Most High. With awe, I watched as Uriel revealed the secrets of the sun's path, showing me the 6 portals through which it passes during the year. On the longest days of summer, the sun ascends through the highest portals, and on the shortest days of winter, it dips through the lowest, marking the turning of the seasons. The year is divided into 364 days, Uriel explained, and the sun follows its appointed course with perfect harmony, never deviating from the will of the Creator. I marveled as he showed me how each season, the equal days of spring, the extended daylight of summer, the balance of autumn, and the dominance of night in winter, was meticulously designed to fulfill the purpose of creation. The sun not only measured time but also sustained life itself, its light and warmth nourishing the earth, a constant testament to the boundless greatness of the Most High. Then, Uriel guided me to observe the moon. Unlike the sun, he explained, the moon follows a different course, completing its cycle in 29 or 30 days. waxing and waning as it reflects the commands of the Most High. In this moment, I stood in awe, realizing that all the celestial bodies, in their precision and purpose, declared the glory of the Creator, marking the sacred order of the cosmos. In the midst of my vision, Uriel, the angel who oversees the celestial luminaries, led me to witness the secret rhythms of the heavens. Behold, he said, the moon waxes and wanes, increasing its light during the first half of the month until it is full, then diminishing until it disappears, completing its sacred cycle. I watched in awe as Uriel explained the moon's mysterious dance, how its light, though not its own, reflects the brilliance of the sun. Together, he said, the sun and moon work in perfect harmony, marking the times and seasons, illuminating the earth. The moon regulates the months, governs the tides, and influences the very cycles of life. But then Uriel warned me of a darkness to come. In the last days, he said gravely, men will corrupt the knowledge of the sun and the moon, straying from the seasons and times established by the Most High. Next, I was taken to observe the stars, those eternal witnesses in the night sky. Each star, Uriel explained, has a name and a purpose, given by the Lord of Spirits. They follow their appointed paths without fail, except for those who rebelled and were cast into the abyss. I saw the constellations, moving with divine precision, marking the passing of seasons and years. Uriel's voice resonated with gravity. These stars are a testimony to the glory of the Most High. Their obedience serves as an example to mankind, but in their foolishness, men have disobeyed and corrupted creation. Among the stars, I saw the fallen, those who once shone brightly but abandoned their courses, defying the Creator's will. These rebellious stars, along with the fallen angels, were cast into the abyss, chained in darkness, awaiting the final judgment. Their rebellion was a stark reminder of the consequences of disobedience. Then Uriel revealed to me the divine order of the year. The year is divided into 364 days, he said, each season with its appointed time, measured by the sun, the moon, and the stars. All of this was established by the Most High from the beginning of time. In the unfolding of Enoch's visions, I witnessed a profound revelation that transcends the very fabric of creation. The luminaries of the heavens, the sun, the moon, and the stars, not only serve their celestial roles but stand as eternal witnesses to divine judgment. On the day of judgment, these heavenly bodies will testify against the wicked, showing how they obeyed the commands of the Most High, while humanity, in its folly, turned away from the truth. The Lord of Spirits spoke to me, his voice heavy with wisdom and warning. Enoch, write all these things and teach them to future generations. Let men learn from the luminaries, for they follow my commandments without fail, while mankind has strayed from my ways. He warned that in the last days, many would distort the knowledge of the sun, the moon, and the stars, altering the times and seasons, leading many astray. Yet, the righteous will stand firm, guided by the light of the Lord, unwavering in their faith. Thus concludes the Book of Luminaries, a divine revelation given to Enoch, so that all generations to come may understand the obedience of the cosmos and the importance of walking in righteousness. The sun, the moon, and the stars bear constant witness to the greatness and authority of the Most High, and their order serves as both a testament and a warning to all who disobey His will. Blessed be the Lord of spirits, who created heaven and earth with perfect wisdom and order. May all men learn from the luminaries and glorify his name forever. And then the visions continued. I saw the earth consumed by waters, a great flood sent as judgment for the wickedness of mankind. As the sky collapsed and the earth was swallowed whole, I trembled, crying out to the Lord, "What is this vision, Lord? Will all creation be destroyed? What will become of the righteous?" The Most High answered, his voice like thunder, "Enoch, this is the judgment upon the earth. A great flood will come to purify creation, but I will preserve the righteous." In the midst of the divine revelation, the Lord of Spirits spoke to me with a voice that echoed through the heavens. "You must warn your family, for from among them I will raise up a man who will be my servant. He will build an ark, and through it he and those with him will be saved." A deep sense of relief washed over me, for I knew then that the righteous would not be forgotten in the coming judgment. There was hope. Amidst the chaos, salvation would emerge. Then another vision unfolded before me, a vision that would reveal the entire history of humanity, from Adam to the final judgment. This was the vision of the animals, in which the course of mankind was symbolized by creatures of the earth, each representing different nations and peoples, while angels guided and judged their paths. I saw a white bull rise from the earth. This was Adam, the first man, the father of all. From him another white bull was born, Seth, his righteous son. And so it continued, each new bull a symbol of the first righteous men who walked in the ways of the Most High. But as the vision progressed, something dark began to unfold. Some of the bulls, once pure, began to mingle with strange and otherworldly creatures. This signified the corruption of mankind, the spreading of sin across the earth. The angels, watching with sorrow in their eyes, saw how men strayed from the paths of righteousness. And then the Lord of Spirits called upon one of the angels, commanding him to build an ark, a sanctuary for the righteous. As the ark rose above the waters, I saw the righteous white bulls safely sheltered from the great flood, a divine protection from the impending destruction. The waters, rising with relentless fury, engulfed the earth, leaving only those within the ark untouched. When the floodwaters receded, a new white bull emerged. His name was Noah. From him came 3 calves, symbolizing his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. These 3 calves gave birth to new nations, and from their seed, the earth began anew. But mankind, in its arrogance, sought to build a tower that reached the heavens, defying the will of the Most High. And so, the Lord of Spirits struck it down, scattering the bulls across the earth. This was the Tower of Babel, the moment when the nations were divided. Yet the Lord did not abandon his creation. He sent angels to guide the righteous, leading them along the paths of justice. Among them appeared a powerful ram, full of glory and might. This ram was sent to gather the lost sheep, to lead them to the place that the Lord had prepared for them. But the wolves, those who walked the path of wickedness, would be destroyed, their end sealed in the final judgment. In the final part of the vision, I saw how the Lord of Spirits established his kingdom on earth. The white sheep, representing the righteous, lived in peace, while the wolves and predators were no more. The earth was renewed, free of evil, and the Lord's light filled all creation. The righteous lived in eternal joy, while the wicked were forgotten. With a heart heavy with both warning and hope, I, Enoch, recorded all that I had witnessed. For these visions were not only a judgment for the wicked but a promise of redemption for the righteous. The day of judgment draws near, and the Most High will judge all creation with perfect justice. The righteous will be vindicated, and the wicked will be consumed by the flames of their own deeds. Let this be a message to all generations. Walk in righteousness, for the day of judgment is upon us, and the kingdom of justice will reign forever. I, Enoch, write these words as a warning for the sinners and as a beacon of hope for the righteous. These revelations were shown to me by the Lord of Spirits, who unveiled the destinies of both the just and the wicked. Listen, my children, and let my words be inscribed upon your hearts, for they are eternal and true. To you, my children, and to all generations to come, I say, live in righteousness and walk in truth. Do not follow the paths of sinners, nor turn away from the commandments of the Most High. Know this, nothing escapes the eyes of the Lord of Spirits. All that you do is seen, and no secret remains hidden from his gaze. I now speak to you, future generations. Days of tribulation are coming, but so too will the judgment of the Most High. In those days, sinners will think they can escape, but the Lord will not forget their deeds. He will see how they have oppressed the righteous, shed innocent blood, and corrupted his creation. For the wicked, a place of eternal darkness awaits, where no comfort or rest shall be found. Their memory will be wiped from the earth, and they will be consumed by torment. But the righteous, O my children, will be protected. They will live in peace, and the Most High will be their refuge in the days of tribulation. I saw the fate of the sinners, and it grieved my soul. I saw how they prospered in this world. Wealth, power, and pride filled their lives. They thought their riches would shield them, but I witnessed their sudden fall. All that they had amassed was taken from them in an instant. I saw them standing before the abyss, their own destruction unfolding before their eyes. And in that dark, eternal place, the flames burned without end, their cries for mercy unheard. The Lord will not forget the deeds of the wicked. He will judge each according to their works, and no excuse will absolve those who have walked the path of evil. But my heart rejoices, for I also saw the fate of the righteous. Their reward is near, and their joy will be everlasting. I beheld a vision, where the righteous were gathered by angels and taken to a place of peace and radiant light. There, in the presence of the Most High, there was no pain or suffering, only eternal joy. The righteous shone like the stars, their light illuminating everything around them. And I saw the Lord of Spirits walking among them, his glory filling them with boundless joy. They inherited the renewed earth, a land where death and corruption had no place. I tell you this, my children, so that you may not fear when the days of tribulation come. Though the sinners may seem to prosper now, their time is short, and your reward is assured in the kingdom of the Most High. The Lord of Spirits showed me the course of human history, divided into 10 great weeks, each one revealing the unfolding of his divine plan. In the first week, I saw the creation of the heavens and the earth and the formation of Adam, the first man. In the second week, I saw the rise of sin and the flood that would purify the earth. In the third week, I saw Abraham and his descendants chosen to be a holy people. In the fourth week, the law was given to Moses that mankind might walk in righteousness. In the fifth week, I saw the kings and prophets who would guide Israel, and in the 6th the corruption of God's people and their exile among the nations. But in the 7th week I saw the Messiah, the Savior who would bring redemption to the righteous and destroy the power of sin. In the 8th week righteousness flourished upon the earth, and the righteous inherited the kingdom of the Most High. The 9th week revealed the judgment of sinners and the eradication of all evil. Finally, in the 10th week, I saw a new heaven and a new earth, where the righteous lived in eternal peace, and the Lord of spirits reigned over all creation. These weeks, O my children, are a testimony to the justice and mercy of the Most High. Know that all He has promised will be fulfilled. The joy of the righteous is eternal, but the lament of the sinners will never cease. Why did we not heed the warnings? Why did we forsake the ways of the Lord? Now, we are enveloped in darkness, and hope is but a distant memory. My brothers, I write these words not just for you but for all future generations, to warn you of the justice and truth of the Lord of spirits. Walk in His ways, and you shall find peace in His eternal kingdom. But if you turn away from His law, your fate is sealed in the abyss. Know this, the judgment of the Most High is at hand. The righteous will shine like the stars, their light eternal. The wicked, however, will be blotted out of creation, their memory erased forever. Let these words serve both as a warning and a beacon of hope, for the Lord of spirits reigns over all, and His kingdom shall never end. As I near the end of my days, the visions I have received are now complete. Yet one final revelation comes to me, a revelation that will echo through the ages, speaking of a child unlike any other, a child born with a divine purpose. It was my son Methuselah who approached me with great concern, saying, "Father, a son has been born to my son Lamech, but this child is not like the others. His flesh is as white as snow, his hair as white as wool, and his eyes shine like the rays of the sun." The significance of this child would change the course of history, and his coming would bring with it the hope of redemption. But the question remains, will we heed the warning? Will we choose righteousness over darkness? When the child opened his eyes, the house was filled with light, radiant and blinding, as though day had suddenly broken within the walls of night. His flesh was white as snow, his hair glistened like wool, and his eyes shone with the brilliance of the sun. "Father," Methuselah whispered, trembling, "this child does not seem human. He appears to be a descendant of the angels of heaven. What does this mean? What should I do?" At these words my heart shook, for I knew the birth of this child was no ordinary event. It was a sign of things to come. I fell to my knees and cried out to the Lord of spirits, asking Him to reveal the meaning hidden within this mystery. And the Lord answered, "This child, Noah, shall be the righteous one who will preserve life when my judgment falls upon the earth. Through him the world will be renewed. Through him the righteous will endure while the wicked perish in the flood." I returned to Methuselah and said, "Guard this child, for he is chosen. Through him, future generations will find deliverance." Yet my heart grew heavy, for in my visions I saw the fate of the sinners. Their riches stripped away, their power shattered, their memory erased from creation. I saw them cast into a place of eternal darkness, where the fire never dies and cries of lament echo without end. Why, they wailed, did we not heed the warnings? Why did we follow our own desires and disobey the Most High? Then the Lord of Spirits said to me, "Enoch, Write these things as a warning for future generations. Let men know that rebellion leads to destruction, and that no strength, no wealth, can save them from my judgment. In the midst of the eternal fire, the fallen angels were bound in chains of darkness, their fate sealed forever. They will remain there for all eternity, a grim testament to the consequences of rebellion against the Lord of Spirits. This is the destiny that awaits all who choose the path of sin, a fate of unending torment, where their names will be erased from creation, their memory lost to time. Let these words serve as a warning, a beacon for those who still walk in the light, urging them to turn away from the ways of wickedness and embrace the path of righteousness. But in contrast to the dark fate of the sinners, I saw the glorious future awaiting the righteous, and my heart swelled with joy. They were gathered in a place of unearthly light, where peace reigned and suffering had no place. Here, in the presence of the Lord of Spirits, there was no pain, no sorrow, only eternal joy. The righteous shone like the stars, their light brighter than the heavens themselves. The Most High walked among them, His glory filling the air, and they were given their eternal inheritance, a life of perfect communion with God, free from the burdens of this world. And then the Lord spoke to me, saying, Enoch, write these blessings for the righteous, so that they may know that their faith will not be in vain. Though they may face suffering and trials in this life, their reward will be beyond measure in the kingdom to come. I am their refuge and their strength, and I will never abandon them. With these final revelations, I knew my earthly journey was drawing to a close. I gathered my children before me and imparted the wisdom the Lord had entrusted to me. Walk in righteousness, live in truth, and avoid the ways of sinners. Keep these words in your hearts, and teach them to your children's children, so that they may find peace in the kingdom of the Most High. Then the angels came for me, and I was taken up to heaven. As the earth faded beneath my feet, I knew my task was complete. But the message I carried would endure forever, a testament to the justice and mercy of the Lord of Spirits. Where the Most High dwells in eternal glory, I, Enoch, was granted a place among the righteous, and my spirit found rest in peace. These are the words I have written, entrusted to me by the Lord of Spirits, to be passed down through the generations. Let all men know that the Lord's judgments are just, true, and everlasting. There is no escape from His divine justice. Walk in His ways, and you will find eternal life, but if you choose to rebel against Him, your destiny will be the abyss. Thus ends the account of the righteous Enoch, who was taken to heaven to witness the hidden mysteries of the Most High. His words stand as both a warning to sinners and a beacon of hope to the righteous. Let all who read this be moved to reflection, for the judgment of the Lord of Spirits is near, and His truth is unshakable. The Book of Enoch is considered apocryphal, meaning it lies outside the canonical scriptures of many religious traditions, including the Christian Bible. However, this does not diminish its value or truth. While its authenticity and authority have been debated for centuries, its profound influence on spiritual thought, especially regarding fallen angels, the final judgment, and the fate of humanity, remains undeniable. It is a fascinating and enigmatic work, offering a unique lens through which to understand the sacred mysteries of its time. Thank you for embarking on this journey through the Book of Enoch. If this content has stirred your soul, leave a comment and share it with others who might find it just as riveting. Don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking videos. and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Now, continue your exploration with us. 2 more videos await on the screen. Click on either one to dive deeper into the mysteries of the unseen. God bless you. Amen. Thank you so much for watching. See y'all in the next one video. If you like my channel, like and subscribe.